and I will give you those numbers. We need people to go to his website page, and we also need people to go to ronpaul2012.net and sign the petition there. There's a petition at ronpaul2012.net. It currently has around 11,600 signatures. It's aiming for 20,000 signatures. And I would ask every one of you to sign that and to continue to get more people to sign that, publish it, and post it. Now, as far as the other ways to lobby, I would love to be able to give you his personal phone number so that you can call his house too, but I think that would really upset him and not help, and he'd end up changing his number, which would mean that all his friends can't reach him. So we can't do that. But what we can do is have you call his offices. So I'm going to give you the Washington offices, and after I finish this part, I'm going to open up this call. Because of the number of people on the call, I'm going to try just having it open, but if that doesn't work, we're going to go to Q&A mode, which is where you can push *6 to raise your hand, and then I can acknowledge you. But right now, just let me finish here. So his Washington, D.C. office phone number is 202-225-2831, 202-225-2831. And you can call it from 9 to 5 or 9 till 6, Monday through Friday. Their voicemail was full. His Lake Jackson, Texas number is area code 979-285-0231. That's 979-285-0231. I don't know what hours it's open. It didn't answer today. And his Victoria, Texas office phone number is 979, I'm sorry, forget that, it's 361-576-1231. That's 361-576-1231. Now, there's something more to contacting him, which is that we need to get people from all parties to contact him. He needs to know our party affiliation when we call. I'm a registered Republican, and I'm going to stay in the Republican Party to continue making changes here in Alaska until they kick me out. They may very well kick me out for trying to support Dr. Paul after Romney's been selected. But I can't honor the Romney selection because it was based in so many ways on cheating, and they have so insulted Dr. Paul and us. So if they kick me out for that, that's the price I'll pay. But we need to let them know our affiliations, and he needs to know that a lot of Republicans will support him. He also expressed to me that he was afraid of upsetting Republicans and for harming the progress that we've made, because we have made great inroads within the Republican Party. And if we want to change things in this two-party system, then we really do need to commandeer one of the bigger parties, and the Republican Party is the one to do that. I agree with him that work is necessary, and especially when I've seen the corruption we've experienced. But with all the rules changes that they've made, and with all the people that we've dealt with and the resistance we've found, we know this is going to take many more years to do. But we can't wait 4 more years for peace, for our rights, and for sound money. We cannot wait 4 more years for even a discussion on these things, and Romney and Obama won't discuss these things. So what I'm personally going to do is I am going to vote for Gary Johnson, and if I can persuade Ron Paul to join that ticket, it'll bring enormous strength to that. If we can persuade the Libertarians to allow him in, it will bring enormous strength to the Libertarian Party, and maybe we will have a viable third party. But in either case, it will definitely have lost the election for Romney, for them to have done what they've done to us, and hopefully for Romney and Obama, because we're mad enough to try something different. So that's my hope and my prayer, and I'll give you the addresses. I also suggest sending telegrams and postal mail. So the address for his Washington office is 203 Cannon House Office Building, Cannon like a gun cannon, 203 Cannon House Office Building, Washington, D.C., 20515. And we'll post this on the conference call description. I'm going to change the time for it to make it last several days so that this information can be up on our page. But that's the mailing address for the Washington office. His Lake Jackson office is 122 West Way, Suite 301. That's 122 West Way, Suite 301, Lake Jackson, Texas, 77566. And if you will go to his web page, and you can publish this everywhere you'd like, his web page is www.paul.house.gov. That's his official website as a representative. And there's a form there. If you go to the Contact tab, click on the word Contact at the top of the screen, and you can fill out a form and submit a message to him. And what we need you to do is to spread all this information I've been giving you to as many people as possible, of as many parties as possible, and get their commitments to write, call, and persuade Dr. Paul. He needs to get that message, and he needs to get it quickly. I'd like to see 1 million people calling his office this week, which means that we need a lot more help. We need to get this word out to a lot more people. But despite all of the doubt and all of the fear that people have about what may or may not happen, nothing will happen if we don't try. We know that the mainstream media will ignore Gary Johnson's campaign as much as possible. And we know that the mass of Americans don't even know what the Libertarian Party is. So we know why we support Dr. Paul. We know that he has been the only one speaking to our constitutional values. And now Gary Johnson has picked that up. If you saw his speech at the We Are the Future rally, Ron Paul's rally in Florida before the National Convention, he made a wonderful speech, and he hits the same points as Dr. Paul about 90% of the time. He's the closest match that we have, and the only other match that can actually present any possibility of winning, because he's on the ballot in 50 states. And whether we win or lose, the most important thing is to get that message of liberty to keep spreading, and to send the message to these corrupt party system people that we will not be ignored, we will not be cheated, and we will not tolerate the continuing erosion of our rights. There is no compromise to choose the lesser of two evils between the two parties, because evil is evil. If you choose the lesser of two evils, we just have more evil anyway. We have to choose something better than that. So what I'm going to do now, I think the best way to try and do this is to just open up the room, and you can do that yourselves by hitting *6. And like I said, if it gets too chaotic, you can feel free to, or if it gets too chaotic, I'm going to shut it all down again and then switch to the raise hand systems. But let's just try. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to talk about it. And I want to thank you for your time. Who would like to step up and interject the first thought or idea or affirmation of what I've shared? Maybe I have to do something so that you can do that. Hold on a second if you're not able to do that. Okay, I think that you should all be able to do *6. Hello again. Now I think you can do *6 and unmute yourself.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Can I say something? Hello?
This number one more time.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I got something to say here.
I hear you.
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. You know what?
You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, we're going to go to Q&A mode, and now that we're in Q&A mode, you can do *6, and I can allow one person to speak at a time. Okay, I see a Sunley, and I'll let you speak first, Sunley.
Am I audible?
You are audible.
My name's Clayton. I'm a registered Republican in Texas. I'm currently going to school in Utah, and I have to say that through my travels between Michigan and Utah and California and Texas, I've seen a very strong support as long as you understand that you're not getting your main source of news from the television, and I think everyone has mirrored that. One of the stories that I found most interesting was a YouTube video that I'm sure everyone listening is familiar with, was a lawyer claiming to have proof of overseas funds being accepted by Romney. And I'm curious if you have any more information on that.
No, I don't, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, as far as the support, that's something we have to be aware of. I talk in my own community with people, and I have friends all over the country, and they all tell me everywhere there's more signs for Ron Paul than anyone else.
Absolutely.
You know, there is real support for Ron Paul because we're real people who really support him, and any of us who are on Facebook and the other communities on the Internet, we know that there's a lot of support for Ron Paul. And anyone who's talking to a lot of people, even we know that support cuts across parties. People do like him. So, but as far as Romney's funds, I don't know. Do you have any more points to helping us win this? Because I see a lot of people online to talk.
Yes, I don't want to waste any time. My personal thoughts is attacking local news stations, seeing if you can have any kind of FaceTime, even if it's not national news, it doesn't matter. This all started with grassroots money and grassroots support for a reason. You have to have small people who are local and who have a lot of support to spread that message locally before we can attack it nationally. So that was my only recommendation, was local news channels who, your mayor, your governor, whoever may be of the most importance in your area, those have to be the people that we signify and put on a pedestal as being aware and supportive of the Ron Paul message.
I agree. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to the next person now. So the next person is Sally. And Sally Moody, I'm going to unmute you now.
Okay, hi. That's my mother's name. I'm Phoebe Moody in Vernon, Texas.
Hi, Phoebe.
Registered Republican. And just two quick questions. First of all, can you please post that contact information you provided on your website?
Yes, I can put it on Alaskans for Ron Paul. That's a little harder for me because I have to remember my login and I haven't really been using it. But I will do that, and I will also extend this teleconference thing. I'm going to change the date now, and there'll be another one on Thursday, and I'm going to make it a little bit early, but Thursday we'll make it at 5 p.m. Alaska time, so it's a little easier for more people to get to. And I will post it in this conference thread.
Will that be a separate conference call?
It'll be at the same phone number, another conference call on Thursday, but it's the same event. I've just changed the date on it. So now that event will stay posted, and we can all keep communicating on that page.
Okay, but you're going to...
And I will post it on that page. In the event description, I'll post all the contact information to reach Dr. Paul. So just go back to that after this meeting.
What is the name of your website again?
Well, that would just be the event on Facebook. The website is AlaskansForRonPaul2012.org or com.
Okay.
Either one will get you there.
And one other quick question.
Later to get that up.
One other quick question. And I'm sure that on your part would have to be speculation, but from the tone of, how many of us actually get to speak to Ron Paul? So you did, and did you pick up any kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, vibes or tone that he may be genuinely concerned for his son's future within the Republican Party if he were to push too far at this time?
I think he's genuinely concerned that he doesn't want to undo any of the progress we've made in the party, and he's concerned about certain people being angry, and that might harm some of the progress we've made. And I think it's very important that we let him know that it's more important that our champion for liberty show up and keep speaking. I pointed out to him that if he takes 2 more months to spread his message and does get on any kind of ticket to keep running, then the news event of that alone will expose his ideas to another 10, and that alone is going to help us make progress. He has no comprehension of how many people support him. When I talked to him, he said that as he said in his speech at the We Are the Future rally, he said, I know about 2 million people voted for me, and I probably have, another 2 million or so that would support me. That's probably not enough, and we have to make it clear to him that he's way off on those numbers. He's not on social media like most of us are, so he has no idea, I think, how many YouTube videos and how much discussion. He's heard that we're big on the internet, but he really has no idea how